Jack stood at the edge of the market, his fingers white-knuckled around the rope tethered to the cow. He needed a price that would feed them for the winter. Before he could turn toward the livestock pens, a man stepped into his path, blocking the light. The stranger did not bargain. He simply pressed 5 beans into Jack's palm. They felt cold, humming with a strange vibration against his skin. Jack dropped the rope and ran, his chest heaving as he reached the house. He held the beans out, expecting relief. His mother did not look at him. She looked at the beans, then at the empty rope in his hand. She snatched the pulses from his grip, stormed to the window, and hurled them into the dark soil of the garden. The night passed in silence. By dawn, the room was plunged into shadow. Jack pushed the shutters open and recoiled. A stalk, thick as a tree trunk and pulsing with emerald light, had erupted from the garden. It spiraled upward, tearing through the roof tiles and vanishing into the cloud layer above. The ground groaned under the pressure of the roots. The path to the sky was open. Jack gripped the stalk. The texture was rough, like hardened bark, and it bit into his palms. He hauled himself up, feet finding purchase on thick, protruding vines. Below, his house shrank until it was a mere speck in the dirt. The air grew thin and cold. Clouds swirled around him, damp and heavy, obscuring the world he knew. He climbed past the flight path of birds, his muscles screaming for rest. Finally, his boots hit solid, flat stone. He stood on a ledge above the clouds, facing a gate carved from iron. He pushed, the heavy metal groaning as it swung open. Inside, a hallway stretched out, built for a titan. A woman stood near a massive hearth, her gaze catching his. She did not scream. She grabbed his arm, pulling him toward a wooden cupboard. "Get in," she whispered, her voice a sharp warning. He scrambled into the dark, cramped space, pulling the door shut just as the floorboards shuddered. A heavy thud vibrated through the wood, followed by another. The ceiling light dimmed as a shadow eclipsed the room. A roar shattered the silence, rattling the pots hanging from the rafters. The giant had come home. Jack pressed his eye to a splintered gap in the cupboard door. The giant sat at a table carved from an entire oak tree. His movements were clumsy, massive, and destructive. He reached into a heavy sack and pulled out a hen, slamming it onto the wood with a force that made the dishes jump. "Lay," the giant commanded, his voice a low rumble that vibrated through the floorboards. The hen shuddered, then produced a solid, golden egg. It hit the table with a dull, heavy thud. Jack watched, his breath caught in his throat. He saw the potential, the weight of the gold, and the sheer audacity of the creature. The giant guzzled a flagon of wine, wiped his mouth with the back of his hand, and leaned back. His eyes drifted shut. The room began to fill with the sound of his breathing, a rhythmic, guttural snoring that shook the hanging pots in their chains. He was fast asleep. Jack gripped the handle of the cupboard door. He counted the beats of the giant's snoring, waiting for the perfect lull in the thunderous sound to push his way out into the room. Jack pushed the door. It swung open without a sound. He crept across the stone floor. Piercing squawk. The snoring stopped instantly. Jack did not look back. He bolted for the door. her hands trembling as she reached out to touch the bird. Jack set the creature down on the scarred wood.